So we're live with Steve Lobel, and I got my dear friend Ben Baller here. Welcome. Thanks for coming. So real quick, like to the world, in case they're hiding under a rock, let the world know who was Ben Baller before Ben Baller.
Well, I mean, even if they wasn't hiding under a rock, I don't think a lot of fans knew who I was before. I was, well, we sitting in my hometown right now. Well, a little bit further. We're about 3 miles east of my hometown. We in downtown LA. But I grew up, was born and raised here in Los Angeles, not that far from these streets. Keep it real funky, extra funky. My mom had a sewing factory where she was sewing dresses literally a block from here. Like, fam, this street has so much, like, they built this place into, like, nice shit. But, like, Rich Ramirez, the Night Stalker, this dude was terrifying the earth. He resided not even 50 feet from here at the Hotel Cecil, which is next door.
Wow.
So just let you know, it's the kind of shit I grew up with, But now, born and raised LA, Koreatown. My brother was always big on music. And early on, he kind of like, I was 5 years old when I heard my first Earth, Wind & Fire record, And I knew music was my destiny, From there, Barcades, Parliament, Funkadelic, George Clinton, And I think I saw Wild Style, and then from there was a rap, you know what I mean? Like, we're talking real hip hop. This was actually, I never got to see, oh my God. Not Subway Wars. What was the one before Wild Style?
Wild Style?
No, I saw, anyway, so, Style Wars, I'm sorry.
Style Wars, okay.
And, Futura and all them, I've been hip to this, so, like, these cats are still around now. It's amazing, some of the cats ain't, but it opened so many doors for people, and I consider it hip-hop because it's not just, it's so many elements. There's DJing, there's MCing, there's the graffiti, there's breakdancing, there's so many things, and I've always been a part of that, and prior to all this, I was a breakdancer, I was a graffiti artist. I even got involved in some gang shit, it was LA, that was a trendy thing to do, and like, I grew up out here with aspirations to be a big DJ, to be in the music business, to play ball. I wanted to be, the first Asian in the NBA. Rex Walters beat me to that. A lot of cats don't know he was half Asian, you know what I'm saying? And there was just a lot of things that I wanted to do, except there wasn't that much opportunity per se in Koreatown. There was a lot of opportunity to be involved in gangster shit, with 6 different major gangs, one of them being Mata Salvatrucha. MS-13 was founded right there in my hood. So there was just so much going on, and I had to focus on, like, what was I going to do? So, I found a little bit of release in the Radiotron. The world famous Radiotron was, that birth of, Ice-T, the movie Break-In, and a bunch of other things. And I just knew I could get involved, and it was like a community center as well. The dude Carmelo, who founded it, he gave us an area where we can go breakdance, learn how to breakdance, graffiti on paper. It was like YMCA for like hip-hop hood cats, So I was doing that early. So, nobody in this business, generally, as far as, it was a black business, and even still now, still predominantly, it's black music, but at the same time, this is what I grew up on. So, before Ben Baller, I was Ben Yang, and doing all these things. I was trying to get my name out there, trying to figure things out. Luckily, I was a late bloomer, but I got enough to get onto a college basketball team. College football team was playing. I thought that was maybe my route with music in the back, but I was only doing that because my parents were kind of like, listen, I grew up in a super strict traditional household. Education is key. Fuck all this rap, jap stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only black person they knew at the time was probably Whoopi Goldberg and like Sidney Poitier. You know what I mean? Like, my parents were not having it. So, around 92, I inherited the name Ben Baller, and I was from playing ball. And if you remember in the late 80s, you was the East Coast cat. So on the West Coast, if you said you was balling, you was dealing dope, you was a baller, this, not, whatever. And at the same time, on a whole different level, if you was balling, oh, he's a baller, you a baller, you were playing ball.
Exactly.
You was wearing, basketball shorts all the time, you was playing, you was a gym rat, or you was outside in the courts. So, it was different definitions. I kind of felt like I was the happy medium between both names. Now, Shootout, Ben Baller's been established, whatever, or not established, I'm coming into the game. It was only me and another cat. I don't even know if you're friends with them because you've been around a long time. There was a cat named Peter King.
Of course.
At Relativity Records.
He worked with me at Relativity,
yeah,
man. Like, and Luxie. Do you remember Luxie?
Yeah.
She used to work with him, and
I remember Luxie, but I'm saying, like, he had Beatnuts, he had Juju, he had Curious George and all them. And so the thing is, a lot of cats who watch this now, who might be 19, they could be 28. Who the fuck is gonna know? I'm saying, who the fuck is gonna know who Curious George is? Walk Like a Duck. I'm just saying,
But that's what we're here to do, bro.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that, and tell y'all, I've been hip hop since really day one. You feel me? Like Ice-T birthed me, on some other shit, Zulu Nation, you know what I mean? Like Africa Islam and doing the whole thing. I was in this. I was going to the cafes. I was going to the battle things and everything. I've been in this. So him being the only other Asian on the other side of the thing, I only heard stories. I was like, all right, well, he had established groups, so it was like my time to get in. So, when you got people telling me what you know about black music, what you know about this, I'm like, motherfucker, probably a lot more than maybe you do.
Exactly.
But it wasn't a skin thing. I really just didn't want to look at it like that. So,
And you know what's so crazy? Of course, when you say let's keep it funky, we can always keep it 100. People say it, but they don't. And I know you would. And that's why I want to interview you, because first of all, you're my friend for like 2 decades.
Yeah.
People don't even know that. And I'm a New York cat, but we met through the legends, Run DMC.
Oh,
Rest
man,
in peace, Jam Master Jay. But
Oh, my God.
I wear the shirt when I say hip hop don't know you, because you are hip hop. And it ain't a color thing or a race thing or a religious thing, because I'm white and you're Asian. And Peter Kang worked with me at Relativity. So it's funny. So that's the early stages of Ben Baller. Like I said, I know you a long time. People know you relevantly as a jeweler.
right.
But you've been around, and you've always been the same to me, a loyal dude, and all he got is his word. But for the people who don't know, you've been in the music industry, and I mean deep in the music industry. Please let the world know what you've done in the music industry.
Before we get into all that, you said it's cool to keep 100. At this point in my life right now, I'm not mad if cats keep it 75, 80. Because cats ain't keeping it even 20%.
You're right, but I don't like that.
But but stop. As people, my wife tells me, man, you need to chill out. You always tweet, then you think about it after. I don't want to hear you talking about rap lyrics where you did a cartwheel, and while you was doing a cartwheel, you was getting a blowjob from Coochie. I was like, babe, it's not me, it's a song. I talk crazy as hip hop.
I love the tweet the other day, by the way, about the entourages and waiting on the next man.
Dog, you ain't gonna
Sure.
be rich off that. But let's not get into that. What I'm getting at is to you. I was in the shower today, and this is completely homosexual if you want to take it that way. I'm joking. You keep it so fucking real, Steve. Cats really can't take it. I won't even lie to you. A couple times I'll be like, Steve, I've had my 1 hour Steve today at Agenda in Vegas. I've had my 1 hour Steve at New York. I've had 1 hour Steve at How Can I Be Down? Whatever. That's enough for me, because I can't keep it. It's just too much. Because he's like, when, Ben, when? No, we're going to the show tonight. Okay, we'll do this. I'm like, how are you going to hit all these places, Steve? We going to do it. We're working. And so, going back to that, music, started out DJing. I've said this story a million times, so I'm trying to think of a different way to say it, but a few cats.
Who's your mentor as a DJ?
Damn. Wow, no one's ever asked me that.
My mentor is Russell Simmons and Jam Master Jay.
No, of course. I mean, I think Jam Master Jay, DJing, going to be that was one thing. But, I was Asian, so, Qbert had to be up there, Mixmaster Mike, just the individual scratch pickles, what I'm saying, from the Bay, a couple of the beat junkies. But there were so few people that I knew coming up in DJing that knew how to do it all around. And one of them was my best friend, DJ Homicide, from Sugar Ray.
Right.
But prior to that, he was, GMC, all that stuff. But that was a mentor there.
A mentor. Exactly.
But my mentor in the music business, I mean, it's crazy, man. It really is. But I wanted to be Puff. I have a hard time calling him Diddy. I never ever did. You know what I'm saying? That's Puffy.
Yeah, me too.
Man.
Yeah, I call him Puff.
And I remember, meeting him, seeing him around. I remember him passing out real shit, passing out Craig Mack things and doing, do you remember, damn, Black J, or what was the dude's name that was, they used to work for him? He was in Belly.
Oh, yeah.
Black.
And then he went to jail.
Yeah,
Black.
so-
Yeah. He's home. I just ran into him recently.
So I'm saying is,
Yeah.
you see cats really doing stuff, pushing a sharpened cart and being, keeping it like super gutter. But, DJing got me to where I was. I got to DJ some major clubs. I'm blessed to say, outside of hip hop, I DJ Granville. That was the Studio 54 for white, rich Hollywood people. But at the same time, I had Pac there. I had Kobe Bryant at 18 years old sneaking him in. We had things popping off over there. That's just on a DJ level. In 1985, I don't even know who Rob One is, but DJ Rob One,
Yeah, of
Rob One taught me how to DJ. At the same time, my man Lethal, was learning how to DJ. Never in a million years did I think Lethal was gonna go join House of Pain, later on Limp Bizkit. You know, a lot of things going on, and we was all in the area. You know, there was a lot of hip hop going on here. Bigger B, rest in peace.
Yes.
Rob One, rest in peace. And we had hip hop out here, Cat. We was doing Far Side and you name it. You know, man, shout out to my man Paul Stewart, DJ P,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
And there was a lot of cats out here, but you know, that's my early accolades, you know, doing some of these major nightclubs. But then later on, going on tour with Faith Evans, going on tour with Carmen Lecture, just getting anything, trying to exposure I can get, doing things with Limp Bizkit, you know, being Keith Murray's DJ. Like that to me meant everything, because at a certain point in the 90s, if you was fucking with Death Squad and you had RedMan and Keith Murray, like, come on, man. Like, that was like having Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz. It was just, but they kept it gutter and it was cool. So, you know,
I told people not to cut you up with bucket hats, right? My first bucket hat was 1988. EPMD, business as usual, bucket hat. And I just saw Eric 2 weeks ago and I showed him the hat. He said, I want this. I got it from Def Jam. So what you're saying, I'm getting chills. But keep going. Shit. Lead.
No, I mean, you know, I met Eric. Me and Eric had talked. He's a brilliant, genius dude. He kept it simple. He's like, fuck this. I'm going to keep it James Brown and I'm going to keep it Roger Zapp. You know what I mean? He's just funky. It was like, you know, I got a position, you know, at Priority Records, who was independent, but think, yo, man, we built gangster rap. You know, we had Dr. Dre, you know, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and there was so much. And after that, we had Master P, we had Jay-Z, we had Black Moon, Smith & Wesson, we had Organized Confusion, fam. We had it all around the spectrum. We had Razzcazz, you know. I mean, dog, you don't know what Black Moon, Smith & Wesson meant to me. New York hip hop, what that meant to me when you hear Enter the Stage. You know what I'm saying? You hear Who Got the Props. When you hear I Got You Open, or, you know, how many MCs. And you listen to this and you're thinking about back then, when you're thinking of the Artifacts, or like KRS, or like Channel Live, Madism, literally from the bottom to the top. And, you know, I've been involved in all of that, you know, going to different things. And, you
what
know,
was your position at Priority Records?
I started out as a manager A&R, which is kind of like, go get coffee, sit in a chair and let me throw things at you and just be blah, blah, whatever. And I was getting everyone delegation.
Humbled, started at the bottom.
Humble. Worked our way to director, A&R director. Then from A&R director, immediately, well, not immediately, but 2 years. Within 2 years, I was vice president A&R at Priority. You know, I used to have you, Eric Blamerville used to walk in the office. You know, you guys come down, y'all want promo records, blah, blah. We would sit and build. He brought DMC to the office, caused a ruckus. One day, Mac 10 walked in my office, and I was like, Mac, how can I help you? This motherfucker pulled out a shirt. I didn't know where he got the shirt, and he goes, can you sign this? And DMC was like, of course. And I was like, the motherfucking biggest egotistical dude, gangster rapper, he's like, dog, I used to get cussed out because I had your posters. And I remember Fresh Fest and all the stuff when DMC was out here, and Curtis Blow and everything. So, you know, going back and forth, I was vice president. I had a department, about 26 people under me. You know, we had Jay-Z working on that going on. We had Reasonable Doubt in the street. We had West Side Connection. I was involved in a lot of things. I'm proud to say I was involved in the Friday soundtrack. You know, we did triple platinum on that. You know, at a certain point, New Line Cinema stopped promoting the movie because the soundtrack was killing it on the West, at least, so bad. Friday is an iconic black movie in hip hop.
Right, I think we have a song on there with Busy Bone.
You might have.
Yeah, with Andrew Shack had called me and we did something.
It's crazy. I just talked to
and we
Shaq
did some stuff with Master P when he was over Priority, you know.
And I just have like a weird brain fart because like there was so many different things going on back then. Like I remember when Bone had got signed to Ruthless, and like one of my artists, one of my homies who was I was doing a demo deal with, and then Will 1X. Will 1X is Will I Am of the Black Eyed Peas.
Who signed to Ruthless as At Band Clan.
Yeah, At Band Clan, and people didn't realize this. And when you know they be in office, and you gotta remember this dude was dressing like the Legend of Bagger Vance. He looked like someone like, you know, ready to walk around Free Gaza. Like Will was very fresh. He had a different style, but he was a fucking dope MC. There would be battles in the early 90s of him and Exhibit, before Exhibit was Exhibit, and they'll be battling, going back and forth. It was one of them. And, you know, Will has been meant to do this. People don't realize that he was real hip-hop, you know, even though he's worth $100 million on this Beats by Dre and Black Eyed Peas and everything. But, you know, I did their demo deal, and I remember there was an incident where they were sitting in the office, and, you know, you talking about some Cleveland cats, real hood. They was talking crazy, and all Will was saying, I just want one of them to say, let's battle, and I'm going to eat these. Dude, it was a crazy thing. Love, by the way, I never had any title Bone Thugs and Harmony. One night we walked in a lesbian club, Michelle's Triple X, and you introduced me to all of them. Much love for that. I appreciate it. They was all cool peoples. So, you know, I worked that, did the movies. We did Rhyme and Reason right after. I left because, you know, Dr. Dre was starting Aftermath Entertainment. It was Black Market Records. You know, we was up and running. We had a lot of artists. I mean, tell you the truth, dog, we're going to be here all day if we sit and talk about it. The bottom line is, you know, Eminem came in. He kind of saved the label. You know, Truth Hurts was doing her thing. We had
Truth Hurts. I forgot about.
You know, we had 2001. You know, and we had Hitman. We had so many talented cats. We had King T. I did that album, Thy Kingdom Come. To this day, I want to say between 1997 to 2001, I don't know if many hip hop albums can fuck with that album. That album was incredible, and I was even on that album.